Hey loves, welcome to Confessions from a Red Couch. I am your host, Janae. This is a podcast all about learning from life lessons and also improving the relationship with yourself so you don't take your trash to others. Every day we have the ability and opportunity to create a more accepting world by actively coming together and living inclusively. Even small acts of inclusion can have a big impact on making others feel loved and accepted. Sometimes by just talking to someone, you can help someone feel more loved and accepted. Because most people don't see themselves as part of the problem, they don't recognize they can be part of the solution. Here are some examples of inclusive actions. Start a conversation to create deeper connections. Consider whose voices are and are not represented. Incorporate diverse perspective into conversations. Use inclusive, appropriate, and respectful language. And then last, consider your actions and reactions. Learn how you can come together at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by the Ad Council. Hey, my loves. Welcome to the first episode of the new year with Confessions from the Red Couch. I am your host and creator, Janae. And as you heard from the intro, this podcast is all about, fixing yourself so you don't take your trash to others. So let's get started. Let's kick it off with our segment, dating tips. So random lessons in dating. And I'm going to do this for 2020. And if you don't know, if you haven't listened to my old podcast, I'm married. I am out of the dating game, thank God. But just something that I learned while I was dating. I always give tips from the things that I learned while I was in dating. And here's your tip, your dating tip for 2020, your random lessons in dating. For this new year, going into a new decade, I want you to think about finding a way to be true and authentic while dating. I feel like nowadays people are trying to live this fake facade. And it really doesn't matter. Like, you can be as fake as you want to be. The real you has to come out. So here are some tips that I think you should, singles or people who are dating should think about while trying to, maneuver this dating world. Number one is don't change yourself to fit a fantasy. Guys and girls, I know women do this more than men probably do. And I'm lying because men do this as well. We lie about our income. We lie about what we want. We try to fit someone's perception of what we need and what they need and what they want, that our real self doesn't come out, and just really focus on not changing yourself to fit the other person's fantasy. If the guy likes somebody who cooks and cleans and you want a maid and a cook, or you have a maid and a cook, or you just don't cook, don't lie and say that you cook, ladies. Like, don't do that. Just let them know. Be like, hey, then I'm probably not the one for you because I order takeout 5 days out of the 7 of the week. And guys, don't lie and say that you want, more kids, or you want kids, or the number of kids that you want. Guys, it's okay to say that you don't want any kids. It's okay to say that you want a vasectomy. It's okay to not want what the other person wants. If you don't fit what they need, then guess what? That's not the one for you. So just move on. The second thing is date in the now, not in the future. So when you're going and you're dating and you're getting to know someone, don't start painting this perfect picture of a wedding and, your life together, and it's only been the second date. Like, don't start doing that, because you're just going to set yourself up for failure. You're going to set yourself up for this fantasy that really hasn't came true. It's just a picture that you have in your head. So really date in the now. Like, sit down, date in the now. See that person for who they are and not with what you want them to be, or not a picture that you want them to be. And then the last thing is, when you date now, a dating tip is to show up. Like, show up and be present in the moment. Listen to what the person's conveying to you. Don't listen just to respond. Listen to like the passion that they have. If they're talking about one of their hobbies that they really like really listen to them. See what they like. That's the way that you get to know someone. Also, if they talk about, what their hopes and goals are, listen to that. That's something that they're really passionate about. So don't just go and start, don't go on dates and just be like, oh, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna be real cute. No, like really put some thought and some effort into it. That's the only way that you're either gonna end up with a person that you like or people that you like if you're poly. And I'm gonna talk about that later. You never know what you might end up with if you just, be true and authentic. So let's take that into 2020. Let's try to be our true and authentic self while dating. When looking for catering options, you should prefer chef-prepared restaurant-quality food with full customizable menu. All or Nunn Catering is the company for you. All or Nunn Catering specializes in Southern cuisine as well as steakhouse, French, American, Creole, and Cajun cooking. All or Nunn Catering will also be relaunching its meal prep options via their Fit Life, Food Life menu that will be available for delivery throughout most of the Houston metropolitan area. For catering quotes or any questions, contact All or Nunn, Nunn Catering at allornunncatering@gmail.com. Make sure to like the Facebook page, All or Nunn Catering, to stay up to date on all of your catering options. The link to the Facebook page and the email address will be in the show notes. Make sure you check out All or Nunn Catering to meet all of your catering needs. All right, let's get into some social media randomness. I'm not really going to talk about social media. I'm actually going to discuss the books that I'm going to reread for the first part of 2020. The first book I'm going to read is 31 Days to Reset Your Life by Rosetta Thurman. And that's just because I want to reset where I am right now. I'm pretty happy with the path that my life is going. There are some things that I do need to change. And so I'm gonna do this for January. Also, I'm gonna reread Eloquent Rage by Brittany Cooper. And the reason why is this: I need to remember I have a right to be proud to be a Black woman. And that's it. Like, I just need to feel proud to be who I am. It's funny. I saw all of these, recently we saw all of these pageants where women of color were being picked, and we're kind of feeling the whole Black is beautiful thing, but you still have people who were making negative comments about them. And so it's hard in society today, to be a Black woman. As many strides as we have made to come up in society and do our part, it's still really hard, especially when even Black men are still trying to tear us down for the choices that we make. So I feel like Eloquent Rage will be a good reminder to keep my head up, keep pushing, keep marching, keep being proud, keep living my life as a Black woman, and loving myself and accepting myself, and, accepting my friends and just all of that, and continue to build my tribe around me. So that one is Eloquent Rage. And then the last book that I'm going to read is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Okay. And that is by Roger Wayne. Why? Because it's just a reminder to not take life as seriously as I did in 2019. 2019 was hard. In some aspects, it was good and it was hard. And it was another lesson in just relationships, not my personal my personal relationship with myself, the one with my husband, one with friends and family. And so this book by Roger Wayne kind of helps you realize that life really isn't as hard or as simple as we want to make it, or as difficult as we want to make it. It's about choices. It's about not taking yourself too seriously. It's about accepting the pain and learning from it, and learning from your failures, and just moving forward, and know that we always have a choice to make. You have a choice to not do anything, and you have a choice to do something. So I really like that book as well. So my 3 books that I'm rereading for the month of January 2020 is 31 Days to Reset Your Life by Rosetta Thurman, Eloquent Rage by Brittany Cooper, and then the last one is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a by Roger Wayne. So if you want to check those out with me and send me an email at the confessions from a red couch at gmail.com, just to talk about, give your opinion and talk about the books, I'm all for it. I do want to have set up, at some point, I want to set up a book club for the podcast so that we can talk about books that we're reading. So, yeah, that is that for the social media segment. All right, so for confession time, I wanted to talk about why New Year's resolutions are scams. The reason why is this: no one ever sticks to them. There was an article in Forbes magazine in December that said 64% of resolutions will be forgotten about after 1 month. They will be abandoned. That means 2/3 of the goals that people set will be completely wasted after not even by the end of January, the first month of the year. And I mean, you can see this with any gym across the country. So everybody's number one resolution is probably to lose weight and get a better shape. And if you go to any gym the first week in January, it's completely packed. There's no way you could get on any of the exercise equipment. People are doing new things. Actually, if you ever get a chance to, this is the best time to make the funniest videos. Like, just go and take your phone and walk around the gym, because you'll see the gross neglect of misuse of exercise equipment ever. Why? Because everybody's all gun-ho after that first week in the gym. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to get it straight. And then life starts happening, because that's what always happens. The scam of life happens. The scam of being an adult happens. And you realize it's hard to stick to a schedule when you've had a hard day at work. Or, say you forgot your meal prep for one day. Or, you just mess it up for a week. And you don't ever get back on the wagon. We fall off the wagon, but we never get back on. And so New Year's resolutions are a scam because we really don't have any value set to them. So here are the reasons why they're a scam, and ways that you can actually set goals for your year that will stick. So number one, your goals have to have value. Like, they have to mean something to you. It has to be something that deep down you want to do. I think in 2018, for my vision board, I made vision boards. On my vision board, I wanted to complete a book. And I didn't complete it in 2018, but I did complete it in 2019. Why? Because in 2018, there was no need for me to write the book. There was no real need for me to sit down and do it. I was fine. Things were going great. And then, and so I kept putting it back on the back burner, put it back on the back burner. But necessity always breeds creativity. And so in 2019, I sat down and I began to write my book, The Journey Back to Loving Yourself. And it was just all about my journey back to getting back to loving myself after I had a crappy 3 years. And so I had to get back to where I am. Why? Because there was finally value behind me finishing my book. Also, your goals you have to have in mind that there must be a behavior change. So a lot of people like to do giving up smoking for their New Year's resolution or their goals, but it has to be a behavior change. So the time that you spend smoking and on smoke breaks, you have to be able to fill that time in order to change that behavior and that need to want to smoke. A lot of people I know say it's a oral thing, because it's about putting something in your mouth. So you have to find another alternative to putting a cigarette in your mouth in order to change that behavior. So what else could you put in your mouth? Every time you think about smoking, you could drink some water. Or every time you think about smoking, you can have a cinnamon stick. My grandfather, in order to stop smoking, used to use cinnamon sticks. It helped his oral fixation, and it also gave him the taste that he needed. So he was able to give up smoking by changing his behavior. Also, you have to know that there's no easy answers. There's no easy way to lose weight. There's no easy way to save money. There's no easy way to start a business and continue a successful business. There's no easy way. We live in a microwave society where we want things instantly, and goals and dreams and visions do not always happen instantly. We don't hear people's, we don't always want to hear people's, their process into becoming successful. We see the beginning and we see the end. I am a teacher by trade. And so my kids, I see this with my students, they want to have YouTube channels and they want to be YouTube famous. But they don't see the process in which it takes to become YouTube famous. They don't see the people hustling on the street. They don't see the people, bidding to get these sponsors and raising their follower count and all that stuff. All they see is, oh, I could do a funny video. And they think instantly after 10 videos, they can become Instagram famous. And that's not how it works. So we have to understand that whenever you set goals or resolutions, or just you have a vision or a plan you want to set forth for the new year, know that it's going to be a process. It's not going to be instant. It's not going to be, a walk in the park. Doing this podcast thing, it has not been a walk in the park, but I continue to stay consistent and work at my craft in order to become successful. And the last thing that you have to do is think big, but you have to know how to chop the big picture into a smaller working process. We all come up with these grandiose, ideas of how we're going to get things done. But you have to be able to have a process, a plan, something that you can work. Because if you don't have anything that you can work, you'll get frustrated. And then that's how you begin to give up on your goals by the end of the month of January. Because you're not working your process. You're not seeing your progress in your process. You're just thinking, oh, well, I can't get there. The idea is too big, which is not. It really isn't. You just have to know how to chop it up into a workable system so that you can achieve the goal that you're trying to do. Okay. Now, here are some things that you should do instead of New Year's resolutions. Number one would be to write a vision with steps and a plan. So what are your goals? Think about your 3 big goals that you really want to take care of in the new year, within a year. What are your 3 big goals that you really want to do? So you see that and you picture it. Now you have to think about your process, right? What steps do you need to take to achieve that goal, those goals? What steps do you need to take to achieve that vision? How much money is it going to take? Is it going to take anybody? What behaviors do you have to change to do that? What environment do you have to change to do that? Are you going to be able to, hang out with your friends all the time, in order to achieve your goals? If I want to lose weight, I can't always go out with my friends. I can't always go out drinking with my friends or go out to extravagant restaurants with my friends. I have to put my end goal in mind and the process that I have to do it. Number two, I have to make my goals measurable. So your goals that you set for the year, your 3 big goals that you set for the year, they have to be measurable, because if they're not measurable, you won't stick to it. You have to be able to measure them to see your progress with them. So in the teaching field, we call these SMART goals. Like what are your SMART goals that you can do in order to see your process or your progress? And the word SMART stands for they have to be specific. Your goal has to be measurable. It has to be attainable. It has to be relevant to your life, and it also has to be time based. So if you have a SMART goal, you are specific in what you're doing. You know exactly what you need to do. You're able to measure it. You're able to actually attain it like it's something that you can do. It is relevant to your life, and it's time based. Like you can put it on a schedule and know when you should attain your goal, when your goal should be accomplished. The third thing that you need to do is set intentions. So as you're going through and you're making your goals and you're seeing that they're smart and you see your process, you have to set an intention to accomplish your goal. If that means that you have to do affirmations every day to remind yourself of your goal and your process, do it. Do you need to wake up every morning and read your process and your goal and your process? Do it. Whatever you need to do, it needs to be set on your mind every day. This is what I need to do. This is why I want to do it. This is how I'm going to do it. This is the reason why I am doing it. And this is what I expect in the end. So if you do that and you set your intentions and you know why, you won't waste time. You won't get thrown off track. And if you are thrown off track, you know how to get back on track because you have a plan in mind. All right. Another thing that you need to do is your goals should be able to, you should be able to review your process each month. You know, see how you're doing, measure your goals, measure your process, do a goal audit if you need to. You know, this is where I was last month. This is where I am this month. These are the processes that worked for me. These are the processes that did not work for me. This is where I waste time. You know, that way you can actually, kind of work with your goals and you can improve your goals. You can improve the process if you review it each month. So do like a monthly audit of your goal setting process, of your goal making process. Of your goal accomplishing process. That's what you should do each month. And then also don't wait till the new year to get started on new goals. Like you can, if your goal is done in a month, then find a new goal. A new goal, a new thing to do, or a new level to reach. Don't think that it has to take the whole year to accomplish 3 goals. Your 3 goals can be accomplished in the first quarter of the year. And that's fine. If you accomplish those 3 goals, they should lead you to another 3 goals that you need to accomplish. So never think that, you know, once you're done or that you have to start on a certain day. You know, I know people who feel like they can't start their diet until a Monday. I say start your diet whenever you want to. There's no rule that says that you have to change the behavior on a Monday or change your behavior at the beginning of the month, on the first of the month, or at the last of the month. Whenever you have it set in your mind to do it, you get started. All right. I think that means that you're more eager to accomplish your goal than it is to, you know, think that, oh, let me wait, let me hem and haw around. So if you put it in your mind to set your goal and you work through your processes, then guess what? You'll be more able to accomplish it. So for a confession time, remember, just a reminder, New Year's resolutions are a scam. Why? Because there's no value behind it. It's not attainable. There's no way to measure New Year's resolutions. But if you set goals, if you go through a goal setting process and actually think about these are my goals, this is my vision, and you write out a plan to accomplish them, and you audit yourself each month to see if you're sticking to your plan or not, I guarantee you your 2020 will be totally different. So that's just it for confession time. So I am your cheerleader. If you have any questions about goal setting, I am not a great person to ask, but you know, I'll be happy to steer you to any articles or references or resources that you need to help you accomplish your goals for 2020. So let's make this a vision year, 2020 vision year. Let's make this a clear vision year, not cloudy. Let's stick to what we said we were going to do. Let's make it intentional. Let's make it purposeful. You know, conquer it. There's so many opportunities out there for you. Let's get it done. Thank you guys for tuning in to Confessions from a Red Couch podcast. A couple of closing remarks. So after the show tonight, I'm going to be on the Patreon site doing the Confessions After Dark. It is only for patrons who are subscribed to the Patreon site. And please believe you do not have to be a millionaire to get on there. For $2, $5, or $8 a month, you can be a patron of the show, which means that you will donate money each month and you get to have certain privileges that regular listeners don't. Like, for one, I give patrons shout outs. Number two, you have a chance to be on the show. Number three, you have a chance to get free merch. Number four, you just get some extra special loving, like seeing the Confessions After Dark show, which is only for patrons. And that one I am a little bit more raw on. And so, you want to join, be a patron, you could go to www.patreon.com/CFARC. That is Confessions from a Red Couch. So I will put that in the show notes. You click it, you can pick one of the levels. Like I said, $2, $5, and $8. You don't have to be a millionaire to get, good stuff. So you get to support the show and you get some things in return. For tonight's Confessions After Dark, I'm going to talk about how I personally failed at New Year's resolutions and setting my goals and what the freak was I thinking. So make sure you tune in at 9 p.m. on the Patreon account in order to see that. Also, if you go to the website, confessionsfromaredcouch.com, it is the one-stop shop for everything. So that is where the blog is. The previous podcast episodes can be found. The YouTube channel is on there as well. And the merch site. So on the merch site, I'm promoting my 2020 intention shirt, which says I am minding my Black A business all 2020. Those are my intentions for 2020. And please believe that will continue to be my intentions. So if you would like a shirt right now, there is free shipping for it, and it'll probably continue to be free shipping for it. So go to the site. The link will be also in the show notes, so you could go there, take care of it. Might take you about 3 to 5 business days to get it. Get your shirt, wear it all 2020 long, minding my Black A business all 2020. And then if you would like to advertise with Confessions from a Red Couch, please email theconfessionsfromarea@gmail.com, and we can talk about, getting an ad space like Nunn Catering. You could get an ad space for a really good price, whether it's pre-roll or mid-roll. We could talk it out and see, what we can do for that. Also, if you want to be a guest, also email me, same email address, theconfessionsfromaredcouch.com. And we can get you on the show. Sometimes I do it in the studio. Sometimes we could do it over the phone. We could do it over Zoom or Skype, whatever suits you, whatever you need to be on the show, we can make it happen. So thank you for tuning in. I think I have said so too many times. I'm going to work on that for the next shows because, so is one of those nervous words like, and other filler words. So I'm going to try to get that out of my vocabulary for the rest of the shows for 2020. That is a goal. It is a behavior that I'm going to be able to break. Tune in next week for our show. It will be continued. So January is a continued show on vision. And we are going to talk about writing your vision, writing your plan, writing your vision, just the good, the bad, and the ugly, and just writing it down. Get it out there. Put it on paper and see what happens. All right. Thank you, guys. Remember, work on yourself so you don't take your trash to others. This is Janae from Confessions from a Red Couch podcast, signing out. Have a good day.